all good.
We're ready to get started, so would the secretary please take a roll call?
Good morning, everyone. Diane Daniels, Secretary. Here we go with the roll call. President Gundry.
Present.
Vice President Ricketts.
Present.
I'm here. Treasurer Resnick.
Present.
Director Bardell. Director Martucci.
Present.
Director Martin.
Present.
Director Shaw. Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I do have a few changes to the agenda today, and this is concerning the minutes because they could not be posted on this agenda. One would be the approval of the March 31st organizational meeting minutes, and the other is the April 3rd special board meeting minutes from last week. Do I have any objections to that? Okay, approval of the March 3rd. We got a lot of them here. The Federation the board minutes for March the 3rd. Bert, thanks, Ray. Do we have a second? Any objections? So approval? I'm sorry. Okay, the next is the March 31st, 2023 organizational meeting. Do I have a motion to approve? Thanks. All in favor? Opposed? The April 3rd special board meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve? Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Randy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, everything's approved. Management reports. We will start with our general manager from First Services also being secretary today. So.
Back in the saddle again. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you all, as usual. Administratively, again, Bush Ross is offering a virtual board certification course via Zoom this coming Wednesday, April 12th at 5. Board members who have not completed the statutory requirement, please sign up for that board orientation through your community association manager for service. Contact your CAM. The special membership meeting to approve insurance policies and pricing will be April 13th at 9 a.m. in the Veterans Theater. Really important that we get a quorum for that meeting. So we will be sending out proxies again ahead of that meeting for those associations who have not returned proxies. If you don't plan on attending in person, please do send a proxy in for that so that we can get our insurance renewed. That's an important thing on a very, very tight timeline. Associations will soon receive the annual performance reviews in electronic survey format for the lawn and landscape contractors as well as for First Service. Save the date, May 4th. An invite will be forthcoming for the performance review. On to Spectrum Charter. I have a call today with their top level management to express our dismay at the lack of information promised but not provided in anticipation of the new contract, and to discuss the contract rollout and resident communication plan going forward. I've been told that we will be getting some information today that I will blast out to the entire community with instructions. I know the last time we talked it was watch your mail for the postcard, and I think we're still in that mode, but there's additional information that we will be communicating out to you after I get off of that teleconference with them today. The CAMs have begun their property observations. 38 associations are scheduled this month. As of yesterday, 16 have been conducted. The reports will be provided to the president of the association via email once reviewed internally. And we are, along with Vesta, addressing the issue of badge and decal return upon transfer of unit ownership. First Service will be placing a requirement to do so on the estoppel. That's going to take care of a lot of the return issues that we have and make a big impact on collecting decals and credentials back. Statistically, our transfers and leases for the month of March were down 18 from the same month last year. Leases were down 2 from the same month last year. And our year-to-date transfers are down 59 in the first quarter compared to the first quarter of last year. Leases were down 7 in the first quarter compared to the same quarter last year. Spring bulk mulch contract orders have been placed, and yesterday the delivery and installation dates are being coordinated by our team and Ryan at Southeast Spreading. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Steve. Matthew?
Good morning, everyone. We'll start off with some fitness center numbers. January was a very busy month, followed by a very slow February. And then in March, 24 fitness orientations. That's a really big number. That means folks are looking to get more involved in their fitness programming. It is a complimentary service over at the 2020 Center if you'd like, so please take advantage of that. I won't go through and read all the numbers, but there is some very solid increases year over year, including group land classes and the participation, as well as the entire attendance of the fitness program. Clients served in the spa and salon, a 41% increase year over year. In fact, the month of March was a brand new record for the property, $35,126 in services and merchandise sales. So that's a 40% increase year over year, and that's our highest month ever on record. So congrats to the team, yes. As I've said before, apparently folks in this community want to try to look good, and I salute them in their efforts to doing that. I have not found that magic recipe for myself, so apparently I need to head over. The CA usage is 33% increase over prior year as well. So again, the spa and the salon continues to do a great job for our residents, and we appreciate them. From a food and beverage standpoint, the trend continues. Record months. The total South Club food and beverage sales are $259,000 for the month. It's an incredible number when you look at a 500 square foot kitchen and a catering kitchen in the back. The team down there has been working nonstop, literally, and we're very proud of their efforts. That also includes alcohol, by the way, because I know a couple of our folks drink. La Perque, just a few. La Perque, as most of you are aware, the concept changed from more of a grab-and-go concept to kind of the hot meal entree option, a 142% increase over prior year, so $15,315. And so, yeah, we're pretty excited about that. And I want to come back to the South Club. I know Easter is upon us, and following that, we usually will drop off some snowbird participation as they head back home. And hopefully that will help eliminate or quiet down some of the parking wars that we continue to have between the golf carts and the cars, because that's a lot of fun on social media to read every night. But that should be coming to a nice dull roar, and we'll continue to reevaluate that. Guest passes sold, a 76% increase over prior year for a total of the month of March of $15,330. Capital projects. The South Club pool deck expansion project. The interior plumbing has been completed and a call has been placed for an inspection on the phase. Electrical work is now in the hands of TECO. New windows and doors are scheduled to be installed next week. The new fencing has been installed, concrete work in front of the new tiki bar is ongoing, and the next concrete pour in the next couple of weeks will be behind the cabana. We are pending the completion of the electrical wiring. We're also waiting on TECO with that, and the new RFID gates are being manufactured and will be installed upon completion. Partial order of the tiki bar appliances. It's coming, folks. We've received a number of the appliances, and the remaining portion is estimated to arrive later this month. The shade structure is actually in manufacturing right now and should be installed in early summer. The sound system equipment has been ordered and installation is also planned to be early summer. The main clubhouse outdoor pool shade structure replacement manufacturing has been completed and is actually estimated to be installed by the end of next week as well. So hopefully we're getting past some of these. We're waiting, and we'll actually start to see some progress. Speaking of waiting, the main clubhouse ladies locker room update, repairs to the shower portion of the locker room are scheduled to begin early next week, and the studio and northwest hallway repairs are scheduled to begin by the end of the month. So we're getting closer. main clubhouse renovation project, work in the northwest hallway has been placed on hold in conjunction with that ladies' locker room pipe break. Once all those repairs are completed, we'll be able to get forward and finish that tile replacement job. Tonight, April 7th, Neil Diamond Story, the early acoustic years. Julie Pianos will return on April 17th in the Veterans Theater. We've also got the Loft Dinner tonight and a number of activities at the South Club. Anything from Wade Williams to Vicki Ryan, Nathan Allen, Jubilee Dinner, Corey Phillips. There's not a lack of things to do even if you're here year-round. A reminder, breakfast is served at the South Club from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Thursday through Sunday, and we do have a catering program now at the North Clubhouse, and we have our catering director, Alex Wilhelm. If you're interested in more information, please stop by the business office and grab her card. A quick thank you to the community. We recently held some events for Moffitt Cancer Center. The total funds raised will be approximately $39,000 to $40,000 before it's matched. So the community should be very proud. I know we had a lot of, yes, thank you, Kat, was a big part of putting us all together. The community responded in an amazing fashion for baskets, for raffle prizes, for participation, for events, donations. And we're very proud of that. And we're also going to be working on bringing in the mole patrol and other advanced screens to the community so our residents won't have to drive very far. Now, this is in advance of Moffitt opening about 3 miles away. So we're excited for that to happen. So stay tuned to your emails for more of that. In addition, ongoing services, Jen's Market, it continues to be here the first Tuesday of the month. Produce Market, On Spot Dermatology continues to come by and deliver RX with the test kits, vaccines, boosters, and flu shots, even though that's kind of quietly dwindling, thank goodness. Tram operations, 3,190 miles for the month. Total ridership about 3,000. Gate security, 10,360 phone calls in the month of March. Highest volume day was March 8th, 384 calls. 2,568 miles driven, 16,000 passes issued, which is an 8% increase over the prior year, and 37 incident reports. Some of those are welfare checks and some other ancillary items like that. Notables, during the first 2 weeks of March, gate security officers manually tallied all incoming vehicles at the front and back gates. The number of vehicles entering the front and back gate during those 2 weeks totaled 97,520, with an average per day of 7,000 per day. Front gate was about 80% of that, and back gate was about 20% of that. Highest traffic times, if you haven't noticed, are between 12:30 and 1:30. That's my report.
Thank you, Matt. Questions? Move on then. Committee reports, I don't think anybody has any. Treasurer's report, I know we don't have one yet. And my report is we have a new board up here, as you can see. Take a minute. I'm going to go around. We're going to have one new director later at this meeting, but Ray Shaw, Susan Martucci, Randy Martin are all returning to the board, as is Tom Ricketts and myself. Our new board members are Diane Daniels, who's our new secretary, and Rick over here is our new treasurer, I'm sorry. And as I said, we will have a new board member later in this meeting. And now I'm going to appoint some committee chairs, as I mentioned. And the new insurance committee, Ray Shaw will continue as chairman. The Lawn and Landscape Committee, our current chairman, Dave McGraw, who has been for a while, he's going to continue as our Lawn and Landscape. I thanked him many times on that. And our board liaison is Tom Ricketts. Health and Safety will be Shirley Bardell. Our Contracts Committee chairman is Randy Martin. I'm going to stay on for temporary as the Community Promotions Committee because I want to make sure we get that taken care of before I turn it over to someone else. The Government Relations Committee I'm going to name that later after we talk. Rich Resnick is, of course, the chairman of the Finance Committee as the treasurer. Standing Elections Committee. By our bylaws, the Standing Election Committee has to be 3 people who are not up for re-election next year. So with that, it will be myself, Tom Ricketts, and Diane Daniels. And those are the committees at this time. Okay. Now, we have appointments to the RFEC. We did interviewing, and we have these appointments, which I'm going to present, and then I will ask. For the RFEC, Region 3, Jack Davidson. Region 4, Jane Galantini. Region 5, Rodney Walker. We met some very good people during this. We had a lot of volunteers, which is wonderful, and we thank them very much so. There's some outstanding people out there that want to volunteer and work. Thank you. We really do appreciate it. So the RFEC for next year will be Region 1, Alan Hahn, who is returning. Terry Blankenship for Region 2, who is returning. Region 3, again, will be Jack Davidson. Region 4, Jane Galantini. Region 5, Rodney Walker. The board members on the RFEC are myself and Rick. Now, any objections to that? If you're here, please stand up for the RFEC. Jack, I know, there he is. And you will be notified, there is a meeting week after next, I believe. As all of you know, District 4, we had a candidate during the election period who had to withdraw after the election was closed, so it was up to us to come up with a candidate and interview people, etc. We had one person who applied for that district, and her name is Angela Mays. I believe she's here, right there. She's going to be a great addition to the board. I had a long conversation with her yesterday, and I want to welcome you. Any objections from anyone? You might as well come on up and take your seat. And again, over here, I think. Next to Matthew. She's going to be a great addition to the board, and it's so nice to see someone who volunteered, who she's really looking, I hope we didn't scare her off. I did scare her off yesterday, but we're really looking forward to it. And again, thank you and welcome to our board. And I did skip something, which I just happened to see. I apologize. Did anybody sign up for open forum? That's my, it's right over there. I just happened to look over there and see that. That's my fault, I apologize. I'm still getting used to this, guys. Give me a break. No. No? Well, good. No one signed up for open forum, so it's not, I'm glad about that, so. Okay, moving on, we have discussion from the Land Trust on some proposals and approvals. And Terry, right here. There you are.
Oh, we're doing the, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're moving on.
I thought this was at the end. My.
No, you're
They're at the end.
See if that works.
I need to look up.
Pay attention to the agenda here, Terry. Let's be.
Absolutely. It is not on. Is it on? Okay.
You gotta move closer to it.
Okay, is that, so we did, okay. The summary is that the Kings Point main clubhouse ladies locker room experienced a water line break in January 13 of 23. Per the management agreement, which requires the management team to act in emergency situations, remediation efforts began immediately. All portions of this process have been completed with the exception of the final repairs to the walls, which are pending the vendor repair date. The cost of water mitigation, studio floor replacement, locker room drywall repairs and replacement, mold protocol remediation, etc., has exceeded the insurance as shown below. Hurricane Ian damage claim. The Federation had a non-budgeted Hurricane Ian insurance claim. The net amount to us was $6,333.
I want to clarify, that's not the Federation, that was the Land Trust.
Land Trust took in income of $6,333 non-budgeted due to Ian insurance claim. The water line break insurance claim was for $47,700. After the deductible, a non-budgeted water line insurance claim check was $37,669. So the trust had a non-budgeted insurance claim received of $44,000. The non-budgeted cost of the water line repairs is $75,737. So we are short the $31,734. Therefore, the RFAC has met with Vesta and received the expenditures related to the work for the water break repair and makes the recommendation to the Federation Board to approve a not to exceed $32,000, makes the recommendation to the board to approve a non-budgeted addition to the property replacement list. In other words, we're just asking for $32,000 in funds that is non-budgeted from the current budget. We're going to have more money in the operating budget for this year, and we recommend the money comes out of there for $32,000. And that's our recommendation to the board.
Questions?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this may just be a terminology on the page that I have in which you read. Did we claim the full 76,000 and they said they would only settle for the 48? Or?
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't that we only claimed the 48?
Yeah, we claimed the max that the policy would allow. We made all the claims that were provided in the policy, and the net amount after the deductible was the $37,600.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No questions?
Yeah, I'm just curious, and I'm sure you don't have the answer, but if the price was, what, 75
$75,737 was the cost.
was the cost, and the insurance company only provided 42?
$4,000.
Pardon?
$44,000.
44,000? Why is there, and we have replacement value?
The biggest difference that I'm aware of, Tom, is, and Ginger, and of course, Matt can answer a little bit, is the mold remediation was, I think the policy limit was only like $15,000. And the actual cost was most of that 40. Now, that's my explanation from what.
It's correct.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, so most of that
was the
extra
limit.
cost was the over the limit for the mold remediation.
And it could be we would up the limits on mold, I don't know, but as a RPC board member listening to this, that's what I took away, was where the lack of insurance coverage could have come. I don't know if you can up mold damage or not. Insurance committee can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions? Could I have a motion to approve? Second? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Moving on. Victoria?
Good morning, everyone. So we have two executive summaries to discuss. The first one is going to be the notice of replacement for the 25-ton HVAC unit at the South Club for this funding to be rolled to the coming fiscal year. Previously, the Federation Board encumbered $39,800 for the 25-ton HVAC unit for the South Club. That was originally budgeted in the 2021-2022 fiscal year. Subsequently, delays have occurred due to ongoing economic and supply chain conditions that have been caused by the new air conditioning SEER requirements set by the EPA, which is a division of the government. The unit has been ordered twice, and we still await manufacturing and shipping of the unit. Vesta is advising the board that the unit will not arrive in Florida before the end of the fiscal year. Therefore, the encumbered funds will not be able to be used. On the cost status, the approved budget amount for this project is $39,800. The correct bids for the 25-ton HVAC unit are $58,300 and $61,000 to date. And that change in cost is due to the SEER requirement rating changing by the government as well as unfortunate COVID inflation. Vesta recommendation is for the Federation Board to continue to earmark and encumber the unspent funds of $39,800 for the replacement of the 25-ton HVAC unit within the 2023-2024 fiscal year, and it will remain in the surplus cash from prior year's funding. This will ensure the budgeted $39,800 amount is available for the 25-ton HVAC unit replacement. In addition, Vesta will advise the board of the increased funds necessary to cover the purchase of the unit in the near future.
Thank you, Victoria. Questions?
Yeah. So in regards to this from back in 21, 22, do we have a contract with a vendor or are we still seeking it?
The contract that was signed originally is out of date because the manufacturer declined, because the manufacturer cannot sell a unit that is not up to the SEER rating. The government won't let them. So that contract was void. We are now seeking new bids. So far we've gotten two. We're still seeking a third.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Anything else? Do you have a motion? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. The second proposal to delay and move capital funding from the current fiscal year to the coming fiscal year of 2023-2024 for the replacement of the following projects: the cardroom flooring and painting, the banquet room flooring, the resurfacing of the north pickleball courts, and the purchase of a new vehicle to be used for catering purposes. Due to the ongoing economic and supply chain conditions, several capital projects were unable to be completed in the current fiscal year. Vesta is proposing to delay, earmark, and encumber the following capital projects and their associated funding, which are scheduled for this current fiscal year, 22-23, 22-22, to the upcoming fiscal year of 23-24. The projects are the replacement of the cardroom flooring, which was budgeted for $18,692, painting of the cardroom, which was $4,131, the replacement of banquet room flooring, $16,002, and resurfacing of pickleball courts for $12,000, the purchase of a new vehicle, which is estimated at $19,278. The total of encumbered funding will be $70,103. We would like to note that the future costs for these projects are anticipated to exceed these budgeted amounts. Our recommendation is to delay these projects as well as earmark and encumber their associated budgeted funding for these projects, which will commence in the upcoming fiscal year of 23-24. When the board approves the commencement of these projects, Vesta will provide the bids for project costs, and the board will determine the source of additional funding as needed at that time.
Thank you, Victoria. Questions?
Victoria. Are there any other projects for this fiscal year that haven't been brought to attention yet that might need the funding?
For 22-23,
Yeah,
no ma'am.
thank you.
Roughly how much more money is going to be required because of inflationary costs over the 70,100?
Due to the bids, still coming in. Due to the bids. Due to the bids.
Scott?
Push the button, Scott.
Should be good. Just grab one of the grab rays.
Never mind.
How much more will it cost for the elected budget or resetting aside? Approximately.
It's unknown at this time because we're still getting revised bids, because in this economic market, bids are only good for, 30, 45 days. And, in the way back, bids could be good for 6 months, but because of supply chain costs and labor costs being a little bit unpredictable still, I don't have an exact amount, but we will do our best to provide that.
Any other questions? Motion to approve. Have a second? Second? All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you.
Moving on to good and welfare announcements. I believe we had, I know someone said she was going to. You might need, you may need this. That's bad.
I'll take yours so you can't say anything.
I'm here for the COA just to announce that we do have the Shredding Day. We've been putting out announcements on the April 14th from 9 a.m. to noon. And it's on the west side of it's in the big parking lot back here. Sign up information, you can either call us or you can do it online. We do have a few appointments, and it is by appointment, so we don't have a huge line out there in the heat waiting to get their shredding done. So we have you sign up, again, 9 to noon on the 14th. So that's all I have. Thank you.
You remember my computer? Okay. Any other good and welfare announcements? With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Second? We are adjourned.